Guess it's time to get up. Good morning. Day 2 of this 3-day trip. And woke up, it was about 50 degrees, which means I probably could have been fine with a 40-degree bag that I left down in my car. It was a thinner bag and a little bit lighter weight, and definitely takes up a lot less space in my pack. Oh well, maybe I'll use it tonight when I meet back up with Jessica for our other little overnight trip tonight. So this is amazingly beautiful up here. The sun is up. Got to see the sunrise a little bit. This is my view right here as I wait for water to boil for breakfast. Gonna have me some oatmeal, a little bit of a hot chocolate drink. There's nobody else around. There's a nice view down into the water pocket fold. And tent is right down there. Gonna have to go on my top 10 all-time favorite campsites. Still don't know if it beats out the other favorite I have here in the park, up off the Frying Pan Trail, but this comes close. I've had breakfast and I've got camp all packed up now, and that means it's time to get going. Got about 3.5, maybe 4 miles to go to get down to Capitol Gorge. I may take a little detour down the next little canyon over here to try and catch some water in a pothole, but if not, I've got about a little under a liter of water to try and get me through to Capitol Gorge, and then there's other little canyons down there, maybe even at the tanks where I can get some water there if it's too difficult to get water a little sooner here. So we'll go see how that goes. Alright, here we go. Made it! Up on the ridge now. Really awesome view up here. So I camped right back in there, down there somewhere. Probably over the other side of this little edge there. It's quite a long haul up. But I made it. Here's Pleasant Creek, right down there. Came through there yesterday. area that I was originally planning to camp at last night. So it's pretty cool here, but I actually think I had better views from where I was last night. Not that this isn't beautiful, but anyways, I've dropped my pack here, and I'm gonna take off down this little canyon here. There should be a few potholes down here. You see some trees and whatnot down there, and I should find water in one of those spots where those trees are. So we're gonna go find out if we're in luck today. Well, this looks promising, but I don't see anywhere on the edge where I could get down to it without falling in, and at that point I might not be able to get back out. So better not try for this one. I'll keep going. Look at this score. Well, I'm reunited with my pack once more after taking a water run. About a quarter mile down was the first real good water spot there, and well worth the trip. I was down to about maybe a half liter, maybe a touch more, and yeah, got quite a few miles left to get back out to where I'm supposed to be picked up with by Jessica this afternoon, and I don't know if I'm going to encounter any more accessible water between here and there without working real hard for it. So I am definitely loaded up now. I've got a liter in the bag ready to be filtered just in case. Got another half liter of Gatorade mixed up, and then I've been cameling up, drinking up quite a bit now. So I think I'm good to go on water through the afternoon anyways, till I meet back up with Jessica and we start our hike up Pleasant Creek. I have got to now navigate my way up over this little notch, and then it's pretty much all downhill from there. But should be the last good climb of the day, getting up over that thing. On we go. All right, made it to the top. Here's the view. So I got to point out earlier, but there's the Henry Mountains right out there. And you can see the ridge lines for the water pocket fold out there. The other edge of it runs north and south. Really awesome geology out here. On that episode of Rock the Park, pretty sure Colton and Jack, the hosts of the show, camped somewhere down in here. Look, more water I could have picked up. So some of the hammock hangers out there might wonder where you could pitch a hammock in the desert. Well, it's not often you find little oases like this, but there's a nice little ponderosa grove there. And you might be able to get away with hanging a hammock on the edge somewhere in there. Lots of overgrowth in the middle, I'm sure, though. There's Capitol Gorge right down in there. And there's Golden Throne sitting right there. So it turns out that I got off course a little bit. Ended up going over that way to get those views I just got. And that wasn't the right way. So I'm back down here by this ponderosa grove here. And apparently I gotta go to the right here and get up on this other little bench up here coming up. Well, check that. Looks like I got off course a little bit again. But I think I see where I need to go. I was just down here at those ponderosa trees. You know, the first time I went over that way and around this little cliff side here, or a ridge side. Came back from around there, started going down this drainage a little bit. Saw the landmark that I needed, but it was the wrong drainage. So I think I'm supposed to go down this little drainage, hang to the right. I'll gain another little ridge over here, and then behind this dead tree is a little knobby hill, and I'll be traversing around that from the ridge in between this little cliff and this, or between this ridge and this ridge. There'll be a little saddle that I should approach. Hopefully I'm on the right course now. Tell you what, these views up here, I think the image speaks for itself. It's ridiculously breathtaking. Wow, I did not know it was gonna be like this. Woo! Wow, this is awesome. This is absolutely amazing. Those views, those spectacular views back there came with a cost. That took me way off course, being distracted by all that. But found my way back down the way I need to come. Had to cross a couple canyons that I shouldn't have come across, or should have been on that side of anyway. So finally about done with this down climb. Gotta exit the park down here in a minute and then slide my way down to this wash down there, and that'll take me back out to the other wash that'll lead me up Capitol Gorge. So alright, just exited the park boundary behind me. Nice little army crawl to get through that. But down to this wash in front of me we go. And we made it. Mellow yellow from here. Woo! All smooth sailing, easy going. Getting ready to enter back into the park here. This is a old relic of a car. Actually says scenic attraction entering Capitol Reef National Monument. So Capitol Reef National Park was actually a national monument prior to it becoming a park. It became a national monument in, I want to say, 1937, if I remember right, and officially made the upgrade to the national park, and it was expanded a little bit. Yeah, I am pretty much in the wash here. Just a few more steps, I'll be in the wash. That'll take me through Capitol Gorge. Here we go. Next stop is the tanks. Saw and talked to and saw the first person I've seen since a long time ago yesterday. So it might well be a record-breaking weekend for a number of visitors to this park this weekend with Memorial Day weekend. And I just went miles and miles without seeing a trace of anybody. I'm sure once we get up to the little turnoff for the tanks, which are some big potholes in the little canyon that are usually full of water, a little bit of a trail or signage that goes up around there. I'm sure once we hit that point we'll encounter a lot more people from there on up to the parking lot at the trailhead. I think I was up there on that edge a little while ago looking down in here. Forgot to take a picture, but yeah. Pretty sure I was up there at that spot. Just looking down in this little pour off right here. And then I had to backtrack like crazy to get back to the right route to get me down here. At the turnoff for the Tanks Trail over here, but staked out a little spot in some nice shade here, and got another nice little lean back rock with my little sit pad from Dutchware Gear. Makes perfect little sit rest here, and just drinking up, having a little lunch snack break here, refueling, and man, it feels good right here. I just stashed my pack a little bit up Water Canyon here. I'm gonna head across the gorge here and go check out the tanks, and then maybe run up a little bit further up and scout out a somewhat sketchy spot. That's kind of the sketchiest spot of another route that links up Grand Wash to Capitol Gorge. It's another route that I'd like to try and do sometime this fall, if not next spring. And so we're gonna go see what it looks like up there. I've never been up to the tanks before. Here's the upper tank. It's kind of empty. There's the lower tank. This one actually does have some water in it. Didn't know this was up here. There's a little bit of a bridge down there. I'm back down from the tanks now. Got my pack back on. I'm gonna start heading down, or heading up Capitol Gorge. My wife's going to be waiting for me at the trailhead if I don't beat her first, but I think she's going to have the upper hand. And yeah, so we're going to pass by Pioneer Register here in a few minutes, check that out for a minute, and then up by a few little petroglyphs. I'm sure there'll be a bunch of people around both of those areas, and all up and down the canyon. I already saw quite a few dozen people up on the tanks, and I'll bet quite a few of them looked at me and thought how dumb I was for not having any water on me. They probably thought I was really unprepared, but nope. Had all my water here cameled up before I took my hike up there, and wasn't too far up and back. So, but to the other people up there, they're probably thinking I hiked from the trailhead all the way up there without any water on me. So, oh well. Yeah, so should be a beautiful hike for the last couple miles out of here. Kids would love to play in this little sandy cave. Alright, so I've seen a few dogs in the gorge here today. Most recent one running off leash. I'm pretty sure that's a big no-no. None of them look like service dogs. None of them had any special vests on. So that's kind of surprising that, with all the people up and down the gorge here, you'd think, that's really risky for all the people that could report them. Because yeah, again, I think that's a big no-no to have dogs up this canyon. Dogs are off limits on most all the trails here in the park, as with most national parks, or all of them. So, yeah, just goes to show not everyone cares about rules. The signs are all over the place at the trailheads, no dogs allowed. Alright, well, I just passed by Pioneer Register. It's part of the wall in the gorge here where a lot of the early settlers of this area, the early pioneers and those that operated the road here, left their name. Nowadays it would be graffiti, but it's historic enough that it's actually history now. So and my perspective on graffiti now and back then, is that back then? Well, they didn't have the internet, they didn't have a lot of the technologies and mediums we have now for recording their history or letting the world know who they are, making their mark, whatever. But it's kind of cool to see how far back some of those names and dates go. But nowadays, we have social media and blogs and everything else on the internet that people can take their picture, leave their mark, and you know, make it available for the whole world to see that way. So that's kind of why it's not good to see more modern graffiti. Just kind of ruins the experience if everybody left their name in these places. With how many people will visit here and yet to visit here, it fills up really quickly if that were to happen. And then you can't see the original names and dates from the past because they get marked over by other people. So, yep. That would be my second little rant. There is plenty of modern graffiti throughout here. Even the little sand cave I was in had a lot of stuff from like the 90s and early 2000s. So, yep. Kind of sad. Not everyone wants to respect things in their natural state. That's my big rants for the day. Number one, all the dogs I'm seeing in here, when I'm pretty dang sure that's against park regulations here. And I'm sure there's signs at the trailhead here. We'll have to double check to see what it says about no dogs in this gorge here. And second rant would have to be the graffiti. So if you're watching this, you ever tempted to leave your name on stuff and mark your year and all that? Don't. I treasure natural beauty, and so many other people do. That's why we have so many of these national parks and public lands that we have, and we need to respect them in their natural state and enjoy the natural beauty that they have. So yeah. This is a petroglyph panel in Capitol Gorge here. Interesting how there's an arrow pointing straight up from that sun there. Makes you wonder what the message is there. Look, pets prohibited on trail, including dogs. I saw 5 of them out there, at least. Should have had Jessica drive down to the trailhead behind me, the actual trailhead. I'm actually having her meet me up at another pull-out at the mouth of the gorge here, but that's about another mile up. Should still make it there by 3. I told her I'd be there between 2 and 3, and whoever got there first could have a nap. Well, I think she's going to win out on that, but she deserves it. So hopefully it's worthwhile for her. And in the meantime, I get to enjoy a little bit more scenery as I exit the last little stretch of the gorge here. That concludes part 2 of our Memorial Day weekend trip to Capitol Reef National Park. What I didn't show at the end there was a video that I thought I had recorded, but apparently did not happen. So to recap real quick, I had 2 different experiences with some trail angels on my way out of Capitol Gorge. The first was for the last half mile. I was actually offered a ride on the back of a tailgate of a pickup of a group of people that pulled over and offered me a lift. So I graciously accepted that, and they drove me out the rest of the gorge for the last half mile and dropped me off at the lot where I met up with the second trail angel, which was my wife. She was there waiting for some nice warm homemade chicken noodle soup, which was a fantastic lunch. And from there we drove back down to the Pleasant Creek Trailhead, where we set off on our little adventure, which was coming up in part 3. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. That way you'll be updated when part 3 hits, hopefully tomorrow.